And we are live. Hello guys, welcome to episode 7 of The Voice of Armwrestling. This is a sad day. Yesterday one of the super heavyweight champions of the world, Andrey Pushkars, died in a car accident, and Oleg Zhok is injured. He's in coma right now. So in this episode we needed to talk about upcoming Vendetta versus Pushkars. Well, that isn't gonna happen, so we will not even gonna talk about that subject. We will talk about Genadi Kvikvinia versus Chaffee. We have some questions, and yeah, so please leave us a question about anything, and we will try to answer in this show today. So we prepared for something else, but life is life. And if someone doesn't know that yesterday they were driving to airport to go to Zloty tour to come to Vendetta, and disaster struck and they got in a car accident, and Oleg's father together with Andrey, they died on spot, and Oleg is in coma right now. So he has some brain damage and hematoma and, yeah, and
some fractures in bones, and also in his lungs. So
we hope
that nothing too good, but
we're hoping that everything will be okay, because it's quite unreal.
Yeah, I still can't believe it's true, and
it's
life is cruel sometimes, and then everything can change in one moment, and you can never know.
Yeah, this is it's really dark time for armwrestling. 33 years of age, world champion, one of the top guys, and we were expecting much of him for many years, but life is life. So always try to be careful, try to love people you're around with, and be a good person. So because everything can happen and change in a second. So thank you everyone who's watching right now, who tuned into. So I started this and I didn't even said who we are. So my name is Ray. I'm together with Jedi Master himself, and this is the last episode before Vendetta. Tomorrow we're actually in 7 hours we're leaving for Poland.
A few hours,
yeah. So it's 9 p.m. right now in Latvia. At 4 a.m. we will leave to go to Poland to see the biggest Vendetta in history. I don't know how it's gonna be. The tone is gonna be different. We know that matchups are not gonna happen, some of them, but we're still expecting Mazurenko to make a great show. They put so much work into this, and disaster struck, and you know it can happen at anyone at any point. So for today's episode, as I said, guys, please leave a comment for any questions you want us to answer. Let's not talk about Andrey. Maybe let's let him be in peace now. We will have time to talk about him later. Right now we don't need to go there. I think we will talk about Chaffee and Genadi Kvikvinia, right hand super match, Vendetta All-Star 50.
Yeah, there are questions about Vendetta was not cancelled. No, it is not.
It's not cancelled. I think everything is going.
Everything is happening, and even Igor Mazurenko said he want to. He promised to Andrey that he will make that match happening. He said also no, that match will happen. So
yeah, we will see what's gonna happen there, and we want to see what's gonna happen there. And so again, Igor has done amazing job creating this event, and the video he made when he talked about this, we see how heartbroken he is. He's been good friends with Andrey from the start.
He's from Poland, but originally
from Ukraine.
He's Ukraine, so
it's yesterday was one of the darkest days in arm wrestling. Thank God that or everything that Zhok is still alive, because we might have lost number one right and left arm in the world, arguably, you know. So we'll see how how it goes there. So let's start with Dave Chaffee and Genadi Kvikvinia super match.
Yeah.
Let's.
But yeah,
Jan's came prepared better than I, so Jan's gonna.
Genadi Kvikvinia. Those who don't know him, 33 years old arm wrestler from great arm wrestling country of Georgia. He's a star of Georgian arm wrestling, one of probably most successful Georgian arm wrestlers. 6, 7
world titles,
world titles, lot of European titles, lot of international titles. I remember very well in 2009 he won his first world title with right arm in Italy in world championship 110 kilo class. I was there as well. I won my first title as well in the same year. So 2011 he was world champion in Kazakhstan. 2012 he was world champion in Brazil with both arms, right and left.
So he's one of the biggest name coming out of Georgia. Really strong guy.
Yeah, 2000 he was 110 kilo class arm wrestler. I remember 2006 he was in 90 kilo class in Europe, and so when he started. 2015, 2016.
Now he's twice as big.
Yeah, world champion in WAF in super heavyweights, getting bigger, getting stronger. And then about Genadi, I want to say that he's one of arm wrestlers I always enjoy to watch. His attitude on table, he's energetic. He never give up. Never give up.
He always fights. Yeah.
He fights till end.
He might lose some muscle in a fight, but he
never
don't
care about small injuries, some pain, some problems. He's really good at defensive positions. He can hold for long. It was strange. He had super match last year with Tim Bresnan. He won 5-1, and with Tim Bresnan, that was one of the times when I saw Genadi in a quite good position, and he is not able to hold in a good position against Tim Bresnan.
He flushed him.
Yeah,
I think it was 4-2. Wasn't it 4-2?
4-2 or 1-5-1.
I think the first two was Bresnan, or maybe something like that.
So then he changed it to trying to go for a fast pin, for flash pin. Little bit about he's from Tbilisi, and then about Georgia. He's like Georgian arm wrestling was really big in the 90s, in 2000. There was in WAF, there was a time like Russia, Georgia, maybe a little bit Ukraine, a little bit Turkey, and Georgia was really big with Erekle Gurciani, with David Chaladze, with Verhi Samharadze, really big names. And then in some 2000 till 2010, whereas a little bit that level of Georgian arm wrestling was not so good for maybe some years. There were some crises. I don't know. Maybe
they had some internal problems. Maybe with that.
Also change of generations, and about in like after 2010s, this new generation really strong, really.
Now they're
good,
back on top.
Yeah, good, strong new arm wrestlers came in. Of course, together with Genadi, with Levan, with at the moment like David Samushia, Oniani Bikeli. Yeah. Again, lot of world top arm wrestlers, world champions. So there are like rumors that this match is really this match. Dave Chaffee, Genadi Kvikvinia. Yes and no, but from one side, Genadi is a multiple world champion. Last year he beat Tim Bresnan.
Yeah.
He deserves to get maybe better, maybe stronger opponent. Yeah, we will see. We will see. Minuses of Genadi. Last few years he's really struggling with a lot of injuries.
Yeah, like a few months ago in Moldova, his elbow basically snapped, and we don't know what happened there, but it's not good, and I don't know how he's gonna pull versus someone like Dave. So
Yeah. This year in European, Levon won super heavyweights. Left arm, Genadi was second, I think, after Levon with right arm.
And
again, Genadi lost. He said his injury is giving him some troubles. It's some pain. He said it was some minor injury before Europeans. It get a little bit worse after Europeans. He said, but it will not give him any problem. Later in Moldova, injury was more serious.
It came back, yeah.
It was
and I think
really,
it was about even a year before in World Championship when it first time happened. So
it was big hematoma on his elbow forearm after
and in
Moldova.
Moldova we arrived with Vladislaus and in customs, and they were standing right behind us, and he was looking huge. I was thinking like Gennady's looking bigger than ever, but he had good matchups, but again injuries.
Yeah,
injuries.
And he said he will compete in this year's World in Antalya, but he didn't. Probably maybe again of injury, and then he wanted to save his arm for this match. Yeah. Also, if we're talking still about Genadi, 2013 not the best year for him. He had banned for doping use for 2 years. Out of World Championship, in I think it was in European Championship in Lithuania, 2013. That year, Genadi Kvikvinia gets suspended. Rustam Babayev, and Arsen Liliev, also Dmitry Trubin involved. So 2013 was really.
Three of the guys that got suspended are in Vendetta.
Yeah, and actually, except Arsen Liliev, all they came back to Armwrestling, and they are again successful and strong,
still on top,
still on top. Yeah. About Arsen, we met him in.
You talked with him.
Yeah.
So what did he say? Is he doing a comeback, or
he don't have plans for
he's enjoying
comeback.
Life right now?
He's enjoying. He's owner of gym in Vladikavkaz in Russia. He said he loves still arm wrestling, and he's a fan of arm wrestling, but he don't see him on a table. But we remember at good times when we were pulling in 2006, 2007. Arsen Liliev was in 75 kilo class. We were pulling in one class, and we were talking that
he didn't look like him when I saw him in Turkey. That's for sure. And in the video that Iron Rating did, it's true. Yeah.
So
maybe after some time he will.
Yeah, but he don't have plans for a comeback right now, but. Of course, same as Babayev, same as Genadi. Arsen is a big name in arm wrestling, and we would like to see him back on the table. Yeah. What else about I would like to maybe ask if you know or our viewers know who is the last World Arm Wrestling Federation WAF champion from USA.
I know.
You know.
I know. So guys, who is the last WF World Champion from USA? Please give us an answer.
Yeah. What else about Genadi? Always self-confidence.
Yeah, he will fight even if Dave is so
months
strong.
Ago there were few interviews with him. He said, "I will win. Dave Chaffee don't have a chance." I'm working. Those are my training weights, which they are showing at their best. So they don't even have a chance. So his self-confidence is up there. He will fight. He will not give up.
We will see what happens.
Question is, are his arms able to hold all this stress? Yeah. What about injuries? And of course, also a question how strong will be Dave.
Yeah. So no one managed to answer this. So Dave Chaffee is the last champion
Yeah.
from USA in senior classes. We're not talking about masters; they have enough master champions, but in senior classes. So
Yeah, if it's master classes, if
and
it's ultra, yeah.
second place was Normand's.
No.
No,
No.
Normand's wasn't there.
Normand was there.
Third.
Actually, it's 2000. If we're talking about some achievements, 2009, 110 kilo class, Genadi was world champion. 2010 in USA, in Mesquite, Nevada, Dave Chaffee was world champion, right hand, 110 kilo class. Genadi wasn't there.
Wasn't there.
He didn't get visas that time. Georgian team had problem with visas. They didn't get to USA.
Oh.
Yes, Fabrizio Chaffee, 2010. You're right.
Kittle also. So
Yeah, so 2010, Dave Chaffee won. 2011, again, Genadi. 2012, again, Genadi.
yeah.
So Genadi was missing one of those world championships.
But,
that time,
but they
Dave
didn't
Chaffee-
come for the other ones. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then about that tournament, Dave Chaffee. Actually, I remember first fight of that class with left arm was Norman Thompson's and Dave Chaffee. And we didn't know Dave that time, and Norman didn't take him too seriously. Actually, he top roll Dave, and Dave was holding him with lost wrist. And Norman was struggling to finish the fight, and maybe after some minute or two, Norman lost that fight, and Dave just pressed him to side with lost wrist. So for us, that year, Dave Chaffee came from nowhere. We didn't know him.
Yeah.
And then the next day, that was a very long fight, and then they both get tired. Norman finished maybe, I think, 4th place. Dave was lower, some 7, 8, or maybe even 10.
Yeah.
And next day, we already took Dave much more serious. And then in the second day with right arm, he beat Tokarev, he beat Grishin, he beat Norman. So
Dave is right there on top. That was the start of Dave Chaffee.
Yeah, that was first time when
After-
international arm wrestling really
After
served
that,
him.
he came a lot of times to the Zloty tour to fight versus
Not so
Siplenko.
a lot time.
No, I think enough times.
For international, second time for when Russian arm wrestling, when some Eastern European arm wrestling really saw Dave Chaffee in action, and again they said he came from nowhere. It was 2013 when in a qualification round he won against Denis Siplenko.
Yes.
He lost later in a finals. He lost twice, but he really gave Denis serious fight, and was so close to win it that.
Yeah. Dave was when Siplenko was on his prime, as we can say, because we don't know how he is right now because he hasn't competed in so long. Dave was right there. Dave was always waiting. He was right there. Just he could win some and lose some.
Yeah. About Dave Chaffee, he's actually also not so young. All top American arm wrestlers are
Over 40.
Over 40. He's a 41-year-old. A lot or no? Hard to say. He started arm wrestling not so long time ago, 2006, I think. And he broke his right arm in arm wrestling in one of his first competitions in 2007 or 2006. So we can just see dedication of this man after 3 years after such serious injury. He came back to arm wrestling, or he was still in arm wrestling. He didn't went out of arm wrestling, and after 3 years. He won world championship in USA, and also that's showing us how talented,
He's
genetically gifted,
to come
athlete
after
he is.
such an injury and
Because
still be on top.
He was 3 years in arm wrestling, and with such a serious injury, and he won his world championship. And again, after 3 years, he was already
Yeah, back on world champion.
And pulling
That's
with
impressive.
pulling after 3 more years, he was pulling equal with Denis Tsiplenko. And he was only in arm wrestling for maybe that time for 6-7 years. 2014, they was again in Europe. He was not in Nemirov.
A1.
He was in A1 tournament
Russia
in Russia, in Moscow, and that time maybe it was a little bit unlucky. He was in one semi-final with Denis Tsiplenko.
They met. Exhausting matchup.
Yes, they had good long fight. They killed each other. Denis won that, but after that also Denis couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he lost to Andrey, and they lost to John.
In other side was Andrey Pushkars and John Brzenk.
Yeah.
Andrey won
Easily,
very not easily, but
Yeah.
with control. He won against John, and after that Andrey just destroyed Tsiplenkov in final, and also John was able to beat tired Dave Chaffee.
So after that, WL. In first season, I remember Game of Arms. You remember the TV
2014.
It started as a TV show. I know I watched all the episodes. From all the episodes and from everyone. He's such a nice guy. He's just no flash, nothing.
He's always very calm, very. I say controlled, always focused on what he's doing. Actually, he's really opposite of Genadi. Genadi can scream, Genadi can hit a table.
In TV show, he was opposite of Travis Bagent. like yin and yang. So,
but his wins, his achievements, that's what do the talking.
Yeah. He doesn't need to do anything. He just all the WL championships.
Table will show.
The table will show. So he's been very dominant in WL for
not every time. 2000 in New Orleans in 2014. Yes, he won right arm. He had problems with the left arm for last few years. It's again not only this he broke his right arm. He has also problems with his upper back, with cervical back, neck problems. And he won in New Orleans right arm. 2015 he won right arm again. 2016 he was second after Travis Bagent. Travis Bagent won with both arms, with left and right, and then. I was there. I watched that setup, and Travis is a master of cheating. I wouldn't say he's a cheater, but he used everything. He
used everything referees allowed him to do.
And referees allowed
in
that.
2017, he lost to Michael.
Michael. And 2017, it was again Travis Bagent, Michael Todd, Nick Zinna. And Dave
strong class there.
And Dave Chaffee was, I think, in A side till final. He won against Michael in qualification. But then in the finals, I was there. It was again great match. Everyone knows how Michael can fights in and especially in the long matches, and he came back and Dave just couldn't hold for so long.
I think if we talk about matchups, Michael is really bad matchup for Dave. I don't know. I always see it like this because of Dave's style. His style is just goes a little bit inside like this. And it's easy for Michael just to sit there if he can catch him.
Dave's biggest advantage is his hand and wrist. His hand and wrist, he's always very good at hand control, and his attacks really with hand and wrist, and you don't see too often his wrist
he has
bend
a
back.
lot of power there, a lot of power.
Yeah, that's again opposite with Genadi. Genadi's wrist is not so stable. It's sometimes can
Like
can
he with the dead wrist he won
yeah.
Tim Bresnan. So
Yeah.
it's interesting matchup, but my opinion, can I stop?
Yeah.
So my opinion, I think this is a mismatchup, just because Genadi is always injured. Dave is too strong. He's ranked #1 in the world. If the things have happened, I think he deserves to pull Tsiplenko, in my opinion, because again, he's the only one who could do anything against him in his prime, and he's all this year where he competed in WL one time. They didn't give him any good matchups. I think he could beat Devon. He could beat even Michael. But
He pulled against Krasimir Kostadinov from Bulgaria.
Krasimir can get in his hook and hold. And I think a year ago, they had a matchup versus Genadi where they were even in the middle. I don't remember who won that fight, but they were even in the middle. Here, Krasimir, even if he stopped him, it was second until they've got upper hand. It's if Genadi was out of injuries, but not like his arm popped out about 2 months ago. If he was fresh, then it would be a different story, because he's really strong. He's the only guy that could really like stop Levin. He at that time, I remember back in Bulgaria 2016, where we thought like no one can stop Levin, and he beat him twice in the final. You remember that year Genadi came in national team. I know they didn't take him in his class.
Yep.
They told him he need to pull in 110 plus, and he needs to let Levin win the first matchup. He needs to just give up. He gave up, and then he beat him twice. So that Genadi could have done a lot of things. Yeah. I don't know which we're going to see today. Even if he takes, it was just 2 months isn't enough time if your arm pops out.
Yeah, but for what we have seen in the last few years, and if we will see the same Genadi as he was in last year or
there will be fight. He will fight till the end, but
it's very hard to give Genadi a win.
Dave last year he ripped Trubin's chest off. Yeah. He ripped his chest off, guys. So that's another thing. So I think it will go 5-1, maybe.
Yeah. Only thing also is again also Dave Chaffee health. He had some problems with neck, with upper neck, with cervical spine. Wasn't this some surgery even? It was. I think it was.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but
I think
some serious problems.
He will come strong, big.
Yeah.
His nickname is Easy Money.
Easy Money.
I'm seeing this matchup going like this for 6 rounds. that's nothing against Genadi.
I would love to see some good match, but if you ask me, my predictions, I would say again 6-0.
Quite similar, yeah.
6-0, or even maybe question is, will Genadi be able to hold all those matches, and maybe it could
gets injured and again gets out.
Hopefully no, but it could finish like that.
But I much better would see him pull against Tsiplenko, just like one last rematch, because people are saying that Tsiplenko will after this retire, or if he feels that like he needs something to prove. We don't know about it, but you know, internet is full of ideas and things that have happened before.
Yeah. Cool Burn is writing that John Brezenk was last USA champion in WAF. John Brezenk has competed in WAF only once in 1999 in Tokyo in Japan, and he won that year, but that was the last time he competed. No.
11 years later, Dave Chaffee did the same thing. So
yeah,
he won there. USA has a lot of good masters. So over 40 years old, they're second in teams almost every time. Again, right behind Russian team.
They have good seniors as well, but not
everyone
all
is
of them are
coming
coming to Waffle Championship. Actually, that would be even interesting topic. Who from USA could
because
could
we
win
can
at Worlds.
Who could win? I think it'd be better who would place in good places, because we saw Justin Bishop came to Moldova, got one victory or something. Maybe I'm wrong, and I know more.
Yeah,
more 1-2 something. I saw him lose against Irakli. Vladislav's beat him. Something else. So and he's like top guy there. So it's hard. It's different arm wrestling. It's they're used to flashy, looking at the camera, holding their opponent. Giannis knows about those things. In here, it's like this. It's fast.
Yeah. So if we are finishing about Genadi,
Giannis, no surgery for Dave's neck, just collar and maybe manipulation. Not sure. So Fabrizio, I guess have some insight. Thank you, Fabrizio, for that.
Yeah. He had some problems, and I know he was out of trainings for a few weeks or even more, and was struggling with his spine. But
huge neck. They might get some problems there.
Yeah. Okay, that's it about Genadi and Dave Chaffee. 6-0.
6-0. But in a worse scenario, it would be 5-1.
Yeah. But
we will see.
Table will show.
Yeah, table will show. Maybe he comes prepared and brings thunder.
Strong and healthy. Yeah. We are talking about vendettas, about super matches, regular tournament. We haven't seen starting lists, but we know some names. With all those big names on arm fights, who could win overall champion title of Zloty Tour?
In overall,
I know that Silayev is coming. Farid Usmanov is coming, who actually did really good at WAF in a heavyweights. He was second.
Is Matyushenko coming?
Maybe, not sure. Krasimir Kostadinov. Maybe
he might even go up, not to 95.
Yeah, 105. 105. He probably 105. Modestas Grigaitis, maybe we don't know about from Lithuania. One of the strongest. There were some information that he could prepare and go. We will see. So it still could be very interesting class, and I believe Farid Usmanli or Farid Usmanov previously could be one of favorites there, especially with left arm.
Yeah, he did really good in Europe World Championship. So we will see, and all the other categories as well. So in 80, 70, 78, 86, we don't know the starting list, but it's gonna be the top guys from the world, and some guys that don't compete in world that are also world level.
Yeah. Who will Leletin pull with?
We don't know.
Or even will pull. Maybe he will pull in a regular class.
Maybe. Then there's another favorite. He was 120 at some point. So
if he will pull in a regular tournament,
he will go heavyweights, and there's Dmitry Silayev, and I think Silayev is very uncomfortable versus from all the training videos we see. But we will know when we get there, which will be in 12 hours about. A little bit later. Lutidze, also from Georgia.
His right hand.
Lutidze. With right hand, he stopped Levin.
He can pull with both, but in a waltz, in Antalya, he gave Levin really serious match with right hand, and he almost top rolled him, and was really close to beat Levin. So of course, Lutidze. He was also
in Moldova. Looked very good, very good,
Also some other Ukrainians, Petr Margarin and Stestyuk, and there will be enough arm wrestlers who Prudnik, of course, who
maybe Taino comes, Hajimurat. So
Hajimat Zaluyev will be in. 86. He's going. 86. He's going. Yeah.
So there's. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. 86. top class athletes in the categories, not only Vendetta. So for everyone who doesn't know how to see all these matchups, armbets.tv, get your friends together, 2-day event, I think it's $35 or something like that. Watch it. It's always the best competition in the world. You might agree to that. Some of the best. But when we're talking about level of competitors,
it's really entertaining.
But the level of competitors, Janis, you have been there all. You have been to every major tournament. Without world championships, let's not talking about world championships.
Without world championship?
Yeah. Is there any stronger tournament when we're talking about the level?
No.
No. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
No,
Yeah.
not now. But it's again.
Of course, there
like,
are a lot of strong tournaments, but when you just look at the match. So he was world champion, second place, third place. You know, multiple world champion titles in the same class. So it's gonna be strong. So I got some questions from my Instagram and from also from YouTube community section. So we will answer those, and then we get some things that you've been writing, guys. So how to practice on table wisely and not just smash each other's hands on table. So
you need smart and educated sparring partners.
You when you come to training, don't think of it's like if you're thinking it's competition and you just want to beat everyone, it's going to be competition. You just want to beat everyone. If you come with a plan to train some special move or some difficult positions, that's how you do it. So you just need to have a plan. If you come to training sessions like, okay, I want to beat everyone, and then you try to beat everyone, you gain nothing out of it. Or sometimes you're lacking holding a hook, get in those hooks, sit there. I think that's the best advice we can give.
Yeah, but actually, really smart and good, technically educated arm wrestlers, sparring partners are important. That if you both work together, you can both get benefit from that.
Yeah.
If you are just going and flashing your sparring partners, maybe you will get something from that, but
one person might gain something.
Yeah, but all others will just
just nothing there. So be smart. Which arm wrestle was your inspiration to carry out this journey?
It's you or me?
No, you.
Yeah, I will start.
Yeah, you will start.
For beginning. And still, if I have to name some of most inspiration arm wrestlers for me, it's Engin Terzi and Cvetan Gashevsky. I still love to watch how they pull. It's still great that they both are active and still in the top level arm wrestling, and then. Everyone who wants to learn, who wants to see high quality arm wrestling, watch what they are doing at table, and they are not youngsters anymore. So if it's possible, do it while they are still active.
Yeah. So I saw them both in Worlds. They did both really good. Sweden was again fighting with everyone.
Yeah.
He was really good. So for me, it was Janis basically. So when I started arm wrestling in Latvia, I wasn't watching that much of videos. We just were talking with guys, and so Janis qualified with two things that I like to qualify that I like myself. So first, he was drug free, and second, he was hardworking. So I could relate to those things, and that's where I get most of my inspiration, basically. So, because guys, I remember I come to one training session, guys introduced us and everything, and I started watching your matchups and everything, and so like I can get some inspiration from this guy, because from being in world of sports and strength sports for so long. At that point, not even that long, but I already knew how to spot guy who uses things and who doesn't use anything. So I cannot take my inspiration from someone who's using something, because I cannot relate to him at any way. That's for me. That's the thing for me, I think, because it doesn't matter how he trains. Nothing will come from that training can come to my training and give me some benefits. So.
Yeah, here's Fabrizio asking, Yanis, do you remember the super match against Engin in Italy, maybe 2007?
No, he forgot about that.
No, I don't want to remember that. I don't want to, but yes, I do. It was 2007 or 2008 maybe. Yeah, and in 2007 in Europeans, I won against Engin with right arm, and then in Worlds I did pull in a 75 kilo class again. I had third place. Engin was pulling 70 kilo class and was in top 3 as well. He was pulling against Jabba, I think, in final or semi-final. And then after that, Engin asked me if I want to pull a super match with him in Italy, and I said okay. And it was 2 weeks, I think, after Nemirov. I pulled in Nemirov, and then after that I went to Italy, and Engin was strong. And Engin was probably the strongest I have seen him, and he just destroyed me. He just destroyed me. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't weak that day and that time, but he was big, strong and ready.
Big version of
a
big version of Engin. Right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much he weighed that day, but but he was maybe best of Engin I have seen him in the last it was 2007 or 8, maybe 10 years or or more. Yeah, I do remember.
He came angry.
Yeah.
You won him. He came angry.
Yeah, he was much more ready than I was.
Yeah. So another question: based on your experience, how long does it take for you to notice that you increased in strength? I guess it's talking about arm wrestling. In arm wrestling strength.
Yeah. First of all, increase in strength, gym training, weight training, everything else, that's great. You're getting better, you're getting stronger, but still you need to bring all this strength, this power to table. And that's only what's matter.
Yeah.
All strength training is to assist your ability on table on arm wrestling, and it's not always really this correlation between your strength in a gym and your strength on a table. You need to train again. Smart. You need to understand what
muscles you are using.
It's not for everyone the same.
Yeah.
If you will take I don't know, Mai or Genadi's or Rustam or Devon's training plan and do the same for 3 months or 6 months.
But you arm wrestle completely different. It's not going to work.
So,
sometimes guys are saying they increased in some weights, like they're doing, let's say, side pressure, and they feel like, okay, I increased my side pressure for 20 kilos. They step on table, they don't bring it there because they don't use it there. So that's the most important thing. You need to understand which muscles, which movements you are actually doing on table, and then you can bring it there.
Yeah. About time, again, from strength training theory, to get some increase in strength. Maybe even in last few weeks of heavy training, you can feel some increase if you have changed something because of muscle coordination, of some neural impulse improvements. But some real increase in strength, it's normally like at least 6-8 week, some
Because
one mesocycle or two.
sometimes you will feel like from 1 week to the other, you will feel increase.
Yeah.
But then it's gonna drop.
Yeah,
So
and this increase is never this linear. Never.
Yeah.
It's
like
goes
this.
up and down, and so
It's unilateral. So it's always you need to be thinking about again what you want to train, where you are the weakest, how you can improve that movement, and then practice it on table and practice it.
that's always interesting question about where you are weakest, and do you need to improve that, or actually opposite, find your
I think it's
strongest
point. I believe
make your strongest point even stronger.
Yeah, I think making your strongest
you need
point
to work on your weakness, but
a little bit, but more focus on where
Yeah.
you're good at. Yeah, that's what lets you win. That's what keeps you winning.
yeah.
So let's get something from there.
Yeah,
and there.
yeah.
Have you heard about new rules the WL will adopt? If yes, what do you think of them, especially the restrictions of the King's move that states the shoulder shouldn't go on the table? I saw something, I didn't read it. You saw something?
I saw, and we will see how it's working. It's probably good that they are trying to
Because I think that
get better
the shit mail they received under Michael Todd's videos where he's lying on their table and Devon with both legs up trying to press him down.
Yeah, it's good that they are working on that, and they need to get better with refereeing. But again, they are changing rules almost every year, every tournament, and for sport you need some stability. You need some, but we will see how it will work. Then we can talk about this.
Yeah, we need to see it in a real event in action.
Because this again, King's move, it's illegal in a WAF. It's illegal,
But sometimes it
but
happens.
still, and not it's not always a problem with athletes. It's problem with referees, and also not all referees can understand the difference with defensive move, with offensive move. It's okay to use a King's move or so-called King's move in offensive position. It's okay if you are
if you're in winning position
and you're right, pulling with right arm and your right shoulder are below table. That's not a problem. And then I have seen some of referees
trying to
up and
we have seen when guys in defensive position with shoulder.
Yeah, but if you are in defensive position and you are in losing position and you are with your arm you are pulling under the table, that's not illegal. That should be at first warning or fall.
Yeah.
After that,
because it's dangerous position.
Yeah,
it should be defined like that. How can a natural guy compete with enhanced guys? It's demotivating when sometimes guys who are less hardworking than you beat you because they are doping. How can a natural person cope with this?
First of all, it's not so easy, and not always everyone who is stronger than you are for 100% under doping or under something. So. There are different genetics. Someone is training harder, training more,
you don't see everything,
smarter.
but of course these things happen.
Yeah.
And
it's first, second. I don't want to say that everyone else there was under doping, but I have won Zloty Tour. I have won. World Armwrestling League. I have won a lot of international tournaments
where there are no doping tests.
Are no doping tests, and I can be sure only about myself that I'm not using. So, is it possible? I believe yes, it is. But
of course,
but
there
are always
it's even more
questions.
satisfying. It's even more satisfying. I remember from not from arm wrestling. I have arm wrestled and won doped guys. It doesn't matter. But I remember in bench press. I remember that like I was in competition and this is like tested federation, but they're never doing tests. And the guys who was winning me for a year for 2.5 kilos on each lift. And after I think 6 months, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, This is ridiculous. You can see that he's doping. He's huge. He's looking twice as big in 74 kilos. And karma struck him, and he got banned for 2 years after that. So, and after that, I still have beaten. I have been to different federations and beaten guys. And arm wrestling is the same thing. You just need to be thinking about yourself. If you want a clean sport, make sure your federation where you're competing is doing doping tests. Yeah. As we said, like in Latvia, we had 7 doping tests this year.
In last Latvian Cup stage, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, there were 5 doping tests.
Yeah, doping tests. They took 2 ladies, 2 men, and 1 junior. So we try to make this sport here as clean as possible. And if you want to do it too, compete in worlds, ask for more doping tests. This is how you get sport clean. Igor was saying something that he's gonna do that in Zloty Tour. We're still waiting for it. Well, maybe next year.
Yeah.
I will get something from here.
Yeah.
How many times a week can you train arms in the gym for arm wrestling? Every day.
Every day is arm day.
Every day is arm day. It's
basically I work out 5 or 6 times a week. Sometimes 6, sometimes 4 as well. But and in every of those workouts, I do train my arms.
We have talked about
Of course, I sometimes train my lower back or even my legs as well. But still.
You never train your leg.
You can never see it. Did you saw me doing those jumps?
No. It's fake news.
And but still in every workout I do train. Of course, I'm not working out, not training same muscle groups every day. I'm not doing same exercise every day. That's impossible if you do just 3 exercise and 3 exercise 6 times a week and same intensity, same amount.
There's no point in it. So these are the biggest sins. You can train everything like every day. Just switch up the exercises and don't do if you can do it. Let's say for arms, so we can train our brachials. So all the what we call angle, top row positions. We can do bicep. We can do forearm work, so it's still arms, but just don't do everyday bicep. People are always thinking like arm wrestling is bicep workout. It's not. So don't do the same exercise over and over again. Don't use the same intensity. Switch muscle groups. So, but for me, also 6 times a week, 5-6 times sometimes, and every training session. It's something for arms, something specific for arm wrestling. Even when we're not thinking about competing, it's still something where you can improve. Right now, it's kettlebells. It's awesome. Andrey Pushkars. Who gonna win? Larata or Tsiplenko? We talked about this. Watch the last episode, guys. How many years in average to achieve pro status?
We talked today about Dave Chaffee. He started arm wrestling in 2006. Not good, but he broke his arm in arm wrestling, and in 2007, and still after 3 years, 2010, he won his first or his only one world champion title. So 3 years for him.
It's depending on your genetics, depending on how hard work you're putting in, how good the competition is, and defining the word pro. If pro means being, I don't know, let's say top 6 in the world, coming to world championship, we know a lot of guys from different countries that never achieved this. They competed for 20 years. I remember when I started, first European or world championship, I know the guys, I look up the guys, and they've never been in top positions, and this year I see them as well, and they're still not there. So it's really different for everyone.
It's different. But if we are comparing arm wrestling to other sports, if you want to achieve some really world-class level in any sport, it's at least 6, 7, sometimes 10 years.
In
10
arm
years of
wrestling,
training.
you can even start at 30 years old. Yeah, and you can be world-class arm wrestler at 40. Yeah, it's happened. It's happened a lot.
Lot of examples we have.
Todd Hutchings.
Todd Hutchings. Even again, we're talking about Dave Chaffee. 2006. He's 41 years old, so 12 years ago, 29.
Yeah.
29. And he's one of top, or even...
Still, right now, ranked #1 in the world, so we'll see.
If I thought, like you asked about this pro status, for me it took a little bit longer. I started arm wrestling locally 1996, and I won my first international medal in Europeans after 10 years in 2006, and I started to compete internationally in '99.
How old were you?
You want to, how old I am now?
No.
And in '99 I started to do my international arm wrestling involved in the European level, and in 2009 I won my first world title. So it took me 10 years of doing arm wrestling to win a medal in a international world level, and it took me 10 years of competing internationally
to get there,
to win the world title. So
it's like I said before, hard work. For some it's genetics, like Vladislaus, he has just
crazy genetics.
Hard work, but
crazy genetics.
Crazy genetics. So for him to win for junior title, it was year of training for him. So some people are gifted and some people need to work hard. So
here's a question: how much time it took you to win a World Arm Wrestling Hammer?
They started in 2014 or 13?
Yeah, 2014 in New Orleans I competed first time.
Yeah.
Already before that I was world champion for a few times.
Yeah, you won the fourth title, and then you then won the double. And so in the first year
I was already in a top level arm wrestling, and then I have competed in 2014, 2015, 2016 and 2017, and I have won 3 of them, except 2016 when I get injured and couldn't prepare good for
exploding thumb technique.
Yeah. So still mentally damaged after that, and
but it's back. It's good. It's good.
It's better.
Jan's doing a comeback. He will compete in Zlotitor. Last one. Best exercise for strong forearms.
One.
They can define strong forearms just like strong forearms or strong forearms for arm wrestling. Strong forearms for arm wrestling, let's say.
Arm wrestling is the best exercise for a strong forearm. Yeah. Arm wrestling table time. But if we're talking about gym,
there can be different variations. Can you hold things or squeeze things or lift things? There's different.
We could separate. If we thinking about anatomy, there are a deeper layer of muscles which are flexing very end this of fingertips. Second is working more here on all fingers, and the superior layer is working more on wristers. Yeah. So there are basically 3 layers of muscles, and you need to get a strong
in all of them.
Arm, yes, really strong, good forearm. You need to develop all those. So you need to work on your fingertips. You need to work on your finger strength, which in arm wrestling mostly are statical strength. We don't need too much to squeeze something. Yeah. We need to ability to hold. So those both fingers and all finger, and of course you need those wrist again. And the wrist is both. It could be and statical and dynamical. Yeah. In arm wrestling, mostly we need ability to hold at least, or even better if you are able to curl. So about exercise, you can never name one, but
there's a lot. Combination of a lot of exercises from
for fingers. What is best? All for me. All fat grip, all thick grip.
Pull-ups,
deadlifts, dumbbell lifts, where you need to hold on those fingers. For wrist, basically wrist curls, with bar, with forearm, with dumbbells, with cables.
Whatever, yeah.
There are hundreds of ways how to.
So you just need to think that you
work.
need to do this, you need to do this, and also you need to do this. So adding all together.
If you understand a little bit anatomics, if you understand in a way you will use it on a table, so you need to your training should be as much as close as your hand is working on a table in arm wrestling.
So it's you need to understand what you are lacking, where you're the weakest. When we're talking about forearm, like the other things we said, you need to work on your strong points. But when we're talking about forearm, if your fingers aren't holding, it doesn't matter how strong you're here if you cannot hold anything.
But same with wrist again. If you are strong in fingers,
stronger fingers,
you can be able to hold with fingers, but you are not good at wrist. You can be strong at wrist, you're maybe not good at fingers.
So improve where you're weaker, and you will be stronger.
Yeah. So we have just 6 hours left.
We need to sleep a little.
After 6 hours, we are leaving for a Zloty tour.
Yeah, it's long road there, about 10-11 hours to drive, and we will
800 kilometers from here.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So we will let you know, guys. We will share on our Instagram, so you can find us Jan Samolinch, Coach Ray at Instagram, and we will try to bring videos, some interviews, and right from there, and some analysis of matchups. And we don't know what's going to happen there. We will see when we get there, but we will let you know. So thank you everyone for watching.
Take care.
Yeah.
Good night.
Stay strong. Love arm wrestling.